In this video tutorial, I'm going to be showing you very briefly how to navigate through week 1 and week 2 in EDFD460. So the purpose of this is to start that familiarization process for you in terms of developing your online learning space. So remembering that in EDFD460, as well as learning content about creativity and imagination in education, to make that a more accessible and informative process over the 12 weeks, it's really important that you become familiar with the online environment as well. So you actually start to use that online environment to your advantage, and to some degree you actually begin to manipulate it as well. So rather than just relying on me to provide the information, it's really important you become an active participant in developing that space, both for yourself and for your peers. So if we go into the week 1 module, which is creativity and imagination in education, this is the introductory week. Now, the way each module or the way each week is structured is fairly similar, but just to show you the difference, I am going to go through week 1, which is quite a basic week, and then also through week 2. So at the start of each week, there will be a reference to the Salmon 5-stage model. Now, Salmon's model is part of the week 1 readings, and Gilly Salmon is an academic who has developed this model about how to learn and how to teach online. And I use this in the first week because what it does is it gives you a really good understanding of how the unit is structured. So that's almost like one sort of thing that we're going to be learning throughout the semester, because off this framework that she's developed hangs all of the content about creativity and imagination. And you'll see at the beginning of each week I put up some goals, some weekly achievements for us, dependent on the stage that we are working towards in Gilly Salmon's 5-stage model. There's then an introduction about the week, so this is an overview of how the week is going to run and is going to pan out. Then in every week you'll have your readings, and as I said in the welcome video, each reading is a link to either a database or to a website, whatever it may be. All those links have been checked, but just be cognizant of the fact that sometimes links are changed or broken for some reason. So if you find you cannot access a reading, just let me know. So just post a message in the questions and queries for Adam, and I will respond to that and rectify it. Then we'll have the discussion forums. Now, by the time you get to the end of the unit, you would have engaged in many discussion forums. And my premise for discussion forums is that you have a discussion forum for a particular topic or thread. So we don't have one discussion forum throughout the whole semester, which has then got multiple different topics within it. We actually have one topic, one discussion forum. So that does mean that in a unit you can have up to 50, 60, maybe even 70 discussion forums. But as long as they're signposted correctly and obviously, you'll find it very easy to navigate to. And for instance, Forum 1A indicates that that is the first forum in week 1. If it was Forum 2B, that would indicate that it's the second forum, as in B, in week 2. Okay, so as we go through the weeks, the forums are named in conjunction with the actual week that we're in. Some forums will be available as soon as you go into that particular week, as Forum 1A is here, so it's in a dark blue text. You'll notice that Forum 1B, which is the confirmation that you're ready to begin, is actually greyed out. And that is because it's dependent on a number of different factors. In this particular instance, that forum is dependent on the first Adobe Connect session having been watched, and I'll explain about Adobe Connect shortly. And once that session is over and done with at 3 p.m. on Tuesday the 24th of February, that forum will then become available, because I'm making the assumption that nobody's actually ready to confirm that they're going to start the unit until that point. Then we have the ACS, which is the Adobe Connect session, and this is really important for this unit. So at regular intervals throughout the unit, we will have an Adobe Connect session, which is an opportunity for us to connect synchronously. So a synchronous connection means that it's in real time. So via this link, so in this case it's the ACS1 link, which is the Adobe Connect Session 1 link, you click onto that and a website will open up and you'll see that there'll be a presentation. You'll be able to see me on the video and I will be talking in real time. It also allows you to talk in real time as well and contribute if you wish to. For those of us who aren't able to join in real time, each session is recorded and that recording will be uploaded shortly after the session has ended, and that is an asynchronous connection to it. So synchronous means you're actually there in real time. Asynchronous means you're catching up at a later date. The purpose of the Adobe Connect sessions is for us to actually connect. Okay, we are in an online environment. We're from all over the world, and we have different responsibilities and timeframes that we work to. So this is the online version of having a face-to-face workshop or a face-to-face lecture. Okay, and they're a mixture of unit administration, content, questions and queries, whatever it may be. But the feedback in the units has shown, in past units has shown that the Adobe Connect sessions are a really good touchstone for everybody to stay in touch. So that's week 1, which is quite a basic week. If I was to go into week 2, this is more of an exemplar, I suppose, in terms of how each week will be structured. So once again, we have reference to the Salmon 5-stage model. So in week 2, we will be completing stage 1, which is access and motivation, and we'll be looking at how we start to develop our socialization skills within the unit. This particular unit is about defining creativity and imagination. Throughout the unit, you'll see that CIE is referred to. That's an easy way of writing creativity and imagination. And again, there's an introduction and there's a focus about what we're going to be looking at. We have the readings. Now, in this case, at the moment, the readings are grayed out and you can't actually access them because they're dependent on you completing EDFD 1A, which I'll explain about momentarily. But the readings are all there. Now, they look as though there's a lot of reading to do, but those readings are actually, they're in most cases quite short, and you do have the whole week to engage with them in. Remembering that a unit of work here at ACU is 150 hours, including readings, assessment preparation, interactions, discussions, all the rest of it. So whilst you may think that there's a lot of readings there, they actually are they're contributing to the workshop time in a face-to-face unit. We then have resources, and resources are part of the administration and the content, meaning that some of the resources are there to aid you in your development and your creation of your personal online learning environment, and then others are there as part of the content of the actual unit. So in this particular case, when you get to week 2, there will be there's a video about how to upload a photograph to your profile on Leo, so that's an administrative task, and then there's a link to mind mapping as well. So as we get to the EDFD for week 2, EDFD 1B, you will be investigating mind mapping as part of the content. We then have a number of discussion forums. Again, in this particular case, they are conditioned so that you need to complete EDFD 1A and that it needs to be the 2nd of March onwards for them to actually become live. So you can still see them, but you can't interact with them. And then really important, we have our EDFDs. Now, I have touched on these before, but the EDFDs form assessment number 1. So there's EDFD 1, which is broken up into EDFD 1A and EDFD 1B, EDFD 2, 3, and 4. And they go over the course of the semester. So we've got up to and including the end of week 2. Then we've got an ETFD in week 4, an ETFD in week 8, and an ETFD in week 10. And together they form 20% of the unit, so individually they're 5% each. And they are really there to provide you with some ongoing immediate feedback. So as soon as you've completed your ETFD, your grade will be updated in the gradebook, so you can see how you're going. And really, if you focus on these, it's 20% of a unit that's very easy to achieve. The ETFDs are structured in a way that they step you through particular content. Now, what I have done in these is I've split the content up as administrative and then also as sort of content-based, so creativity and imagination based. This one, so ETFD1A, which is the first part, will actually go live on the first day of the semester, which is the 23rd of February, as you can see here. And when you click onto that, you'll see there's a series of questions that you go through. You have the opportunity to take the questions 10 times. Okay, so you can give it a go one day, come back to it the next day, and so on and so on. So 10 times is actually sufficient to get the ETFD completed. And with ETFD1, you will notice that when you go into the unit, in fact, I might just show this to you. So I'm going to quickly just go back into my login, so you won't be able to see this at the moment. I'm logging in as a lecturer. You'll see on the left-hand side under linked media, once you click into the unit, into the ETFD, sorry, that there is a document that you can download that is basically a checklist of all the questions in ETFD1B. Now, I've made that available for you for ETFD1A only. Subsequent ETFDs won't have that. There does need to be an element of surprise in them because they are a test. But when you get to ETFD1A, when it goes live on 23rd of February, you'll be able to see that. And then you click on Welcome, and it takes you through a series of questions. As I said, the questions are available in that document there. When we have Adobe Connect session number 1 on Tuesday, the 24th of February at 2 o'clock, I will go through the ETFDs in greater detail. So just on the Adobe Connect sessions, the first Adobe Connect session is going to be on February the 24th, and the link to it is available in week 1. And what you'll do is you'll click on this link here at 2 o'clock, and that'll take you to a website, and I will then accept your login, and you can sit there and either participate or in total silence. I'll run through a checklist to make sure that everything's running properly, and it'll be our first introduction to each other as a whole group. So I hope you found this tutorial useful. Any questions, please let me know. If you think I can amend it in any way, just let me know. It's all about updating and making sure things make sense. But this is just a brief run through week 1 and then through week 2, really looking at week 2 as an exemplar for the remaining weeks of the semester, so you know what to expect every time weeks become available to you. So as I said in the welcome video, I look forward to working with you, and I look forward to seeing you in Adobe Connect session number 1 next week.